Welcome back to another episode of Across the River podcast. This is going to be a football times three, so make sure you sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Make sure you guys also leave a like down below and a comment to let us know you're liking the content. So let's dive right into it. We did NFL's preseason week 1 last week. Let's go to preseason week 2. Let me hear your winners and losers.
So I'll give you my first winner, and it's Jordan Love. I had the Packers winning the division before I knew what Jordan Love was capable of, and it was maybe a ballsy pick, but I don't mind that, especially given how he's done so far. He's been great in training camp. He's been great in preseason. He looks super comfortable and ready to lead an NFL team. Barely playing before Rodgers left. Obviously, that's a little mark on your resume, but he looks to be in control of a roster that's been put together for years with another quarterback. And him playing well in both of the preseason games so far is another sign that he's ready to go. Jordan Love is my winner number 1. Let's hear yours.
So I went QB also, but I went a newer QB to the field. I went Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue.
All right.
I'm a Michigan fan, so I watched him play against Michigan in the Big Ten championship. He looked solid there, and he really came out and proved himself this weekend. 11 for 18, 163 yards, 2 TDs, 3 rushes for 5 yards. I don't think anyone was really expecting him to have such a great game.
Absolutely
but he's really
not.
fighting especially with Jimmy G, how no one knows how well he's going to do. He's fighting for his spot. So
absolutely.
I'm excited to see what he can do in the future. What about your first loser?
So my first loser is the Bills coaching. 21 penalties in their first 2 preseason games. Where's the discipline?
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
That's piss poor. It's not good enough. And the ones couldn't perform against Pittsburgh. The Steelers ones absolutely dominated the Bills ones. That's Josh Allen was on the field. Gabe Davis was on the field. Everyone other than Stephon Diggs that you'd expect to be on the field was out there. So do we see how effective losing Leslie Frazier is going to be for the defense? And do we see that Ken Dorsey being the only offensive mind in McDermott's cabinet might not be the right move? I guess we got to wait for the regular season, but right now I've got my doubts.
That's fair. See, I picked another team in the AFC, but I went with the Texans. They scored 20 points against the Patriots last week, and then this week they only dropped 3 against the Dolphins, when in my eyes, the Patriots do have a better defense than the Dolphins, especially as Bill Belichick is a defensive mind head coach. Like, that's what he's known for, really. So I think I was really surprised that drop off, but overall, like, CJ Stroud did look better this week than he did the week before.
Will
So
Anderson looked good too.
Yeah, but the whole team is they couldn't really generate anything, and they couldn't even stop the Dolphins. So
yeah, absolutely. So staying in that game, my winner number 2 is Salvon Ahmed, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Devin Akane, Myles Gaskin, the looming possibility of Dalvin Cook. All of those guys were placed ahead of Salvon Ahmed on the depth chart. And Salvon Ahmed went out there and put up over 130 scrimmage yards, 2 touchdowns, and potentially the most explosive running back performance Miami has seen since Jay Ajayi. I know it's preseason, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. But every time Ahmed has stepped on the field for the Dolphins, he has been great. Against the Bills on that Christmas Eve matchup, great game from him. He just does not disappoint. He's been great. He's been great every time he stepped on the field. It's just, where does he fit in the team? And now I'm hoping that Miami's going to be able to fit him in as sort of a catching back, because he had 4 catches, 50 yards in this game. So he was fantastic.
I think another positive is because in my eyes, the Dolphins, like, their running back position was kind of iffy. This is like really a filler. But for me, I went with someone who you had as a loser last week. I went with Kyle Trask, because he really bounced back this week. 20 for 28, 218 yards and a touchdown, and then 4 rushes for 7 yards. But after getting outperformed by Baker Mayfield, from what last week saw, he really put his mindset on, and he performed really well against a great Jet defense. So I'm really happy to see that.
I'll give him that. That was the first time I've seen anything positive out of him since he was drafted. So it's definitely moving steps for him. My loser number 2 is going to be another running back, Antonio Gibson. His role in the team was always that of a lead back going in up until last year. Brian Robinson took his spot, and that's not even an indictment on Antonio Gibson, because I think Brian Robinson's a great running back. But since his spot was taken, Gibson has fumbled the ball away, been moved to special teams, and not even been the lead catching back, as J.D. McKissick was there to fill that role. Now McKissick isn't there anymore, but could we be seeing Chris Rodriguez taking that role? Could we be seeing Jonathan Williams take that role? We don't know who's going to have it, but what I do know is that Antonio Gibson had 2 rushes for 3 yards in this preseason game. He had a
Mhm.
fumble last weekend, and he was consistently in special teams. Could he be on the roster? I don't even know.
See, this one as a disappointment really hurts me. If you guys know the Netflix series Quarterback, you know how Marcus Mariota was in it. I was a big fan of him, but I had to put him as a disappointment this week. 9 for 17, 86 yards, an interception, 1 rush for 5 yards. I don't know. I feel like I was expecting more from him. He just didn't really provide it, but I think he has the capability of doing way better and bouncing back next week. Obviously, he's not going to be the starter for the Eagles. That's Jalen Hurts' job, obviously, but he should be the backup for that team because he's an experienced QB and he's not bad at all. He's a dual threat QB who I believe could be one of the best backup QBs in the league easily.
Yeah. My third winner is all the starting kickers that came out there and did a great job this week. Younghoe Koo, Evan McPherson, Cade York. They were all out there. They kicked great field goals. They didn't miss. And people forget that special teams players have to perform during preseason. Otherwise, they get chopped. They are the most expendable position in football. Forget a running back, forget a wide receiver. You could live by cutting your 10-year kicker tomorrow if he starts playing badly. Justin Tucker is the only one that's safe. So these guys come out there and start balling, keep balling. It's kudos to them. They're pressure. They have pressure
100%.
all the time.
For me, my third winner is Jake Moody. He is a kicker.
Another
I also
kicker.
showing love to kickers. I see where he's 3 for 3 this week. His longest field goal was 43 yards, and he also hit the game-winning field goal against the Broncos. In college, they did call him Jake Money Moody, and he's living up to that name. And I think in a few years, he's going to be the best kicker in the league.
I like that.
That's a hot take from me.
All right.
What about your third loser?
My third loser is the preseason rules for not instating overtime.
I like that. I feel like a lot of people sleep on that.
Yeah. These players that are playing, a lot of them are never going to make an NFL roster. So why not give them a taste of overtime? Well, I know the reasoning is because you want to avoid injuries, but by the fourth quarter, the starters aren't even playing. And I'm sure every single one of the players that are fighting for a spot would love more time on the field. So why not instate some overtime? Why not try out your new overtime playoff rules? There's so many ways you can make this more interesting. Try college rules. It's preseason. It doesn't count. There's so many ways they can do it other than having ties. 2 ties this weekend. It's preseason, so no one really cares, but I would like to see winners.
I mean, especially if they're trying to increase viewership, longer games means more viewership because everyone loves football and they got to do their fantasy football training. My next loser and the final one is the Jets offense. They really couldn't generate anything against this Buccaneers team after the Jets looked amazing week 1, to be honest. They just, or not the week last week, but they couldn't really do anything this week, and that really disappointed me. So I hope they bounce back, especially as a Jets fan.
Moving into our second football of the day, Lionel Messi. He just played in the League's Cup final against Nashville. Inter Miami were without a doubt the worst team in Major League Soccer before this tournament without Lionel Messi and friends. What most people saw as a tournament, I saw as a social experiment. What can you do by placing the best player in the world and his friends on a team of nobodies? Gans, let's hear how he did.
I mean, he really showed out as they went undefeated in the whole thing. You know, Messi first, they beat Cruz Azul 2-1, where Messi did score. Actually, Messi scored in every game, which is pretty impressive. So it shows how much of a different level these guys in other leagues are than the MLS. And it shows how much of a big impact they can have. You know, then they went on to beat Atlanta United, then Orlando City, and then they had a first tough challenge from FC Dallas.
That game was fantastic. That was a phenomenal game. Messi, first off, comes into the game against Cruz Azul in the 60th minute, turns the game on its head, and then gets a free kick from, 26 yards, 27 yards, nails it in the top corner, his first shot with Inter Miami. And that's in front of Tom Brady, in front of LeBron, in front of Serena Williams. And there's an amazing picture I saw. It was all 3 of them gathering around to try to get a picture of Messi. Shows you how worldwide he is.
Yeah, everyone had their phones out when he was coming out. Like, it was crazy. You know, I think another is I saw on Instagram is he gave the captain band back to the former captain when they won. And it shows like how he's not only playing for himself, but he's playing for the team. I think that
Absolutely.
was really interesting to
Yeah,
see.
that was a really
Like,
heartwarming moment
Mhm.
because DeAndre Yedlin, he was given the captaincy from the start of Inter Miami from 2020. They're an expansion team in 2020. Yedlin was given the reins of that team along with Luis Robles, Victor Ulloa, a few other guys. And Yedlin's been there sticking it out. I don't know any other guys. Yedlin and Ulloa are the only guys that were there in that 2020 team that I believe are still there now. So it's very interesting to see how much a team can change that quickly. And Messi, Busquets, Alba, give them the credit they deserve.
100%.
Nobody's denying that they're excellent, but they're not different than they were in Europe. They're the same
I want to
players.
ask you though about this final game. Okay, when you have the greatest player in the world in that final game against Nashville, it went to pens, and Inter Miami won 10-9 to win the League Cup. What do you think was going through Messi's mind when it was going to pens and it was the tenth guy had to go? Like, it must be a new feeling because I don't think, to my memory, like that's really happening in European
No,
soccer.
it's
So,
not. I mean, it happened in a final in England, but Messi has never gone that far in penalties. He
mhm.
has never gone past, I believe, the eighth shooter in a shootout in his career. So it was very interesting to see how much he cared because I won't lie. Going into this season with him coming to Miami, I wasn't completely sure he was going to be fully invested because he's the greatest player in the world playing in the
Mhm.
United States.
That's
But you're seeing his reactions when a guy like Kamal Miller's going up to take a penalty and he's getting legitimately excited. As someone who's been a fan of MLS for over 10 years, it's super fun to watch. Just
mhm.
the average MLS guy going up to take a penalty and Messi's on his knees praying. It's super fun to watch for me. That's what I'll say.
100%. It's kind of interesting how him in the World Cup and him here, it's like the kind of the same reaction
Yeah.
in a way.
I mean, obviously there was more up for Messi at the World Cup. There was more of a reaction. He was playing for his nation, playing for his pride, but he always has the same hunger to win. And that's something I questioned with him coming into Miami from the start. I didn't know if he was going to keep that. But from the first game on, I saw it. Against Atlanta, he had that little fight. Against Orlando, he got into a little fight with Felipe, the center midfielder on Orlando. And that was fun for me to watch, especially just because Lionel Messi fighting Felipe, who would have thought that's ever going to happen? But it's fun to watch him care. That's
I think also we need to give some props to Drake Callender and
yeah,
Robert Taylor, as they
absolutely.
also really showed out. But I think they're getting not as much appreciation because they are not Messi. But I think
Absolutely.
it is a team sport at the end of the day, and Messi really showed that himself by giving the captain band back.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Drake Callender and
I
Robert Taylor?
mean,
How do you think they helped?
Drake Callender had a fantastic tournament throughout, and the penalty shootout may not have been super nice to him just because he gave up 9 goals in that shootout.
Mm-hmm.
But he got his opportunity at redemption. He knocked the ball in the upper corner of the penalty shootout, and he saved the penalty to win them the
Mm-hmm.
game. So that was his moment there, and that's his moment for the rest of his life is winning a
Yeah.
tournament with Messi. Robert Taylor, I'll tell you about Robert Taylor. He was an average MLS winger before Messi got there, and now people are going around talking about him because he's playing with Messi as one of the best in the league. Now
Mm-hmm.
he's playing like a fantastic winger. It just shows you how important having great players around you are. Robert Taylor last season, 4 goals, 5 assists, similar, somewhat average of a season. This season in that tournament, I think he matched that. So it's very, very amazing to see how Messi can just take a player and make him into one of the best in the league.
I don't think it's just Messi. I think it's just props to everyone for showing up. Like,
Yeah,
because in that tournament, they probably had a lot of pressure on them to perform well as a team,
yeah,
and they
absolutely,
really lived up to it. So I was excited to see that.
definitely.
Now, let's go to our third football topic, and let's stay in that region where Miami is. Let's talk about the SEC. What do you got happening there?
So the SEC, I have Alabama going out of the West, Georgia
Okay,
going out of the East,
a little
and
crazy.
you think that's crazy?
I agree with Georgia, but Bama, no.
Why, what's wrong with
Let
Bama? What's wrong with
I
Bama?
let Nick Saban, probably one of the best coaches of all time, but I think LSU is going to make it over Bama. Okay.
No,
Yes.
LSU really?
Yes. You got to see what LSU had. Okay, Bama has a transfer QB coming in.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna do a great job.
He is 100%. But you also got to look. LSU has one of the Heisman candidates, to be honest. Daniels, who's gonna shock. Who's gonna do amazing this year, 100%. So I can't wait to see. Why do you, let me ask you this. Why do you think Bama's gonna do better?
first things first, the recruiting class. They brought in possibly the best recruiting class in all of college football this year. And people just brush to the side the fact that they have NFL caliber coaches everywhere across the board. You have Nick Saban, who's possibly the best coach, not even college coach in football. And you have players under him that are young, eager to learn, and ready to compete. People didn't think that the Tua Tagovailoa Alabama team, when he first got in there, was going to win the championship. People didn't think Jalen Hurts' team was going to win the championship. There are so many names in the NFL right now that were from Alabama that nobody really thought much of. So just because there's not a Heisman candidate on this Bama team doesn't mean anything.
I want to go back to what you were saying with the recruiting class. When you look at LSU's class, they're not that much far behind Bama, to be honest. LSU
I would say
has
they are. I would say they are.
I mean, I don't know. Although Bama has more 5-stars and 4-stars, LSU still has an amazing class. They put together the 6th best class in the nation. And then you also have to think how hungry this team is. You got to remember these LSU teams, they used to be on top. And then we've seen them these past few years, looming around. I think they want to prove themselves. They're hungry, and I think that they'll take it. But to be honest, it doesn't matter really for me because whoever plays Georgia, they're just going to lose to Georgia, even though Georgia has a new QB in Carson Beck. It's just Georgia, so
Georgia's going to find what to do. They've made it to the college football playoff final with Stetson Bennett. They've won the college football playoff with Stetson Bennett. They've won SEC championships with Jake Fromm. They can do it.
Georgia's Georgia, that is insane. So, what about the ACC?
So
kind of the division slept on.
So the ACC, I have Florida State playing against Clemson in the ACC finals, and I have Florida State taking that because I think Jordan Travis is going to be possibly the best quarterback in that whole division and possibly even in college football. I
want to ask you one thing though. What about UNC and Drake May? Because Drake May is being hyped up to be a Heisman. I'm not
a Drake May guy. I don't think he's going to be particularly great this season. I thought he had a good season last year, but I don't see all that much in his game that he steps up going into this season because he's got the intangibles down. He's got a great arm. He's mobile, but I don't see the NFL IQ in him that I see in a guy like Jordan Travis or in a guy like Caleb Williams, just for examples. I think he's a little bit erratic in his decision-making. I don't think UNC has a good team around him, and I would much prefer to have a guy like Jordan Travis in at quarterback.
See, I agree with FSU making it, but I actually have North Carolina instead of Clemson. I think Drake May is going to lead those Tar Heels, but unfortunately, it's not basketball season, UNC fans, and you guys are going to be losing to Florida State. You guys will probably get a revenge on them in basketball season. My only thing with Clemson is, Cade Klubnik, I think he's going to be amazing this year.
I think he's going to be fantastic.
I just want to see how he does because we haven't really seen him play. Last year we saw some of it, but it was behind DJ. I want to see how he takes charge with the team while he's going against 2 QBs who are more used to these situations. So
I think he's very capable of taking charge of this team and taking them to even a college football playoff. I don't have them in there, but I wouldn't be absolutely stunned if it did happen.
So the Big 12, it's a hot topic right now, the Big 12. So
Big 12. So I had TCU winning this, and then I changed it because I thought that is crazy. I have I now have Texas winning over TCU.
Over TCU?
I still have TCU making it. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Because TCU has the culture of a team that's here to stay. It wasn't like it was a group of guys that banded up for 1 year and were able to make a jump to the final. This was something that was growing for a few years. TCU wasn't even thought of in the realm of college football up until maybe 2018. And they've been building this repertoire of being a cycling in and out team that has a great identity and a great way of winning college football games. And I think they're capable of bringing that through, even without Quentin Johnston, without their whole team practically.
I mean, they have no Max Duggan, though, and he was the leader.
Absolutely. But replacements are always going to come through. It's college.
That is true.
They have something. And I believe that they will be able to push through past the likes of Oklahoma or Mississippi State. I don't think those teams are particularly strong. I do have Texas winning, though, just because they do have the star power. Quinn Ewers is a better player than anyone on that TCU team. And they have...
See, let me stop you there, though.
Yeah.
Okay? I have Oklahoma. And Oklahoma versus Texas.
Yeah.
And both teams have transfer QBs leading the way. Quinn Ewers, former Ohio State QB, and Dylan Gabriel, former UCF QB. So I think that they have those teams have a lot of experience, first of all. Okay. Number two, Oklahoma had an amazing recruiting class this year. Okay.
I won't deny that.
Oklahoma's always a great team. Always a great team.
But they never make it to where it counts. And
yes, that is true.
I don't remember the last time they were in a college football playoff.
But with them moving to the SEC soon, I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder that they have to prove that they're able to go against these people in the SEC. So they're going to have a good season, or else they're going to be made fun of when they join that SEC and looked down upon by other teams. But I agree with you. I do have Texas taking it. They probably have the best 1-2 QB duo in the nation, Quinn Ewers and Archie Manning.
Yeah.
What's not to love there at the QB position?
Yeah, who knows how that Arch Manning play is going to end up going. I have no idea whether or not he's good, so we'll see how that ends up.
My hot take is I think if Quinn Ewers stays another season, Arch is going to transfer. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Now, Pac-12. I have the predictable final, which is USC Washington.
USC, okay.
USC Washington. And USC are going to take that. They have Caleb Williams, who is the number one player in college football right now. And they have Lincoln Riley. They have what they've been trying to build for a couple of years. This is their year. And I believe it'll work out for them. They'll make a college football playoff. But I don't know that they're the team that people make them out to be quite yet.
100%. I just don't. Their defense is lackluster, to be honest with you. I think it's Washington or Oregon who's going to face USC, to be honest.
I'm a Penix guy, though.
Bo Nix is very slept on, but I think either one of them will do well. But you got to look. USC did make some defensive additions, like freshman Zion Branch, and then transfer DL from Georgia, Bear Alexander. I think they really made that priority this year to get defensive players, especially after what happened to them against Tulane. Tulane's an amazing team, to be honest, and I think they're going to win their division. But just USC's defense is holding them back. If USC defense goes up more, they could probably win a natty. That's what I think.
Yeah, but they've got to work that out. Going to the Big Ten. Michigan and Ohio State in the same conference. They're the clear two best teams in this division, but they can't play each other. So I have Ohio State making it out, and they're going to go and play Iowa.
Wow, Iowa. Okay.
And Iowa are always a team that breeds really good offensive linemen, really good tight ends. And compared to the competition on that side of the Big Ten bracket, I think that might be all they need to really get by. Purdue lost a couple of guys. Minnesota, never really anything to be nervous about. Nebraska, Northwestern, laughingstocks. Wisconsin, nothing really.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there. It's my turn. Nebraska, Wisconsin, not laughingstocks. Let's start off with Nebraska. Nebraska's a very sneaky team. They can go under the radar, to be honest. They got a great transfer QB from Georgia Tech in Jeff Sims. Okay. New head coach, Matt Rule, who I think is going to do amazing. Okay. They have a three-headed beast at running back, Gabe Ervin, Ramir Johnson, and Anthony Grant. And they have experienced wide receiver Marcus Washington from Texas, and then incoming beast of a freshman, Malachi Coleman. So I think they're really going under the radar of a lot of people, and they're really going to prove everyone wrong.
I will tell you, they're very much not on my radar. I don't think they're going to do anything. So
I think they're going to do really well this year.
It goes without saying Ohio State is going to go through and win.
Okay, so for Wisconsin, though. Wisconsin's going to be a top team this year. They have a great QB competition happening with Nick Evers and Tanner Mordecai, who's from SMU. He is a stud. Pretty sure he put up 7 TDs in a game last season. They have an amazing running back in Braylon Allen. I think Wisconsin's going to go 11. They can go 11-1, with their only loss being to Ohio State.
11-1?
With their only loss being to Ohio State. But then with a new coach and Luke Fickell, I think you see what he did with Cincinnati. They made it to the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think
I'm not
he
going to
can
deny
really help
that,
them
but
make it.
11-1 is a little bit
I
outstanding, if you
mean,
ask me.
the West isn't really as tough as the East in the
Yeah.
Big Ten. So, they played Buffalo, Washington State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, Rutgers, Iowa, Illinois, Ohio State, Indiana, Northwestern, Nebraska, Minnesota. Like,
Okay,
you
but
know, their ceiling for me is 11-2, and their floor would probably be like 8-4, I would say.
all right. Well,
So for the East, I
so
gotta
what?
stay true. I gotta go with Michigan
Michigan?
three times,
Yeah.
making it to the Big Ten championship, and they're gonna crush Ohio State back in the Big
Yeah.
House this year. With a multiple Heisman candidates, J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, and Blake Corum, the best running back duo in the nation. Their defense and offensive line has been outstanding. Okay, and then they're still hungry for their first national championship since 1997. So whoever Michigan faces in the Big Ten championship, they're going down. Michigan's going to be a three-peat. Come on now.
All right. So let's hear your playoffs then.
You know what? First, I want to talk about Heisman. I think we should say playoffs for after.
All right. So who do you got for your Heisman candidates and who's winning?
So I want to give an honorable mention to Blake Corum. The reason I don't have him there is because I think him and Donovan Edwards will be like a 60-40 kind of split. So that's the reason. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. I see he's probably the best wide receiver in the nation.
Yep.
Jordan Travis and Drake May.
Okay.
Yeah. Two stud of QBs, both from the ACC. It's probably going to be the ACC championship game. And then to the winner, I got Caleb Williams.
All right.
How can you not have Caleb Williams winning it?
So I'll tell you.
Insane.
So I'll tell you, I don't have Caleb Williams winning.
Okay.
But
what's your why?
I just don't think he's going to have the season people make him out to be. He's going to be the number one pick in the next draft, but I don't think he's going to be the Heisman winner. He's shown enough over the last few years for him to be the number one pick. But Heisman, I have going to Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he is going to have
a wide receiver winning.
Yep. I think he's going to have a record-breaking season this year. And I know they've got depth in that wide receiver room, but he's getting drafted this year. He wants to be that next top 10 wide receiver pick and be a fantastic NFL player.
It's going to be like Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. I mean, any of the guys from Ohio State, Olave, Garrett Wilson.
Who was a wide receiver who did win the Heisman? He went to Michigan. Desmond Howard.
Well, my other prospects for the Heisman, I have Jordan Travis in there. I have Caleb Williams in there, and then my fourth is Blake Corum.
I like that.
I think Blake Corum's going to have a great season. I think he could be a first round pick going into the next year's NFL draft.
What about your honorable mention though? Who you got there?
So I was thinking about it, and I really do like Michael Penix. And I was thinking he's going to have a really good season and be an honorable mention. I can't put him in that top four. I can't justify him over the other guys, but I think he's going to have a better season than the likes of Drake May or even
That's a hot take,
the likes of Bo Nix. But I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he's going to have a really good season.
Okay, it's time for the big thing. College football playoffs. So how should we do our seeding? 4-1, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fours, I have Ohio State.
My 4 is actually FSU.
FSU, wow, okay. At the 3, I have USC.
I have Ohio State at my 3.
At the 2, I got the boys in blue. I got Michigan.
My 2, I have USC.
Okay. In my 1, how could you not go with the Georgia Bulldogs?
And the Georgia Bulldogs are the number 1 seed.
So how is FSU making it? I would like to know.
I think they might go undefeated.
Okay. I think even if Michigan loses only to Ohio State, you're having FSU make it over.
Yep.
Okay. That's fair. But I don't know. I gotta go Ohio State, I think, because I think their only loss is going to be to Michigan. And I think that game is going to be a great game, but Michigan's going to have the edge. I think Ohio State, like what happened this year, I think Ohio State's going to get that last spot. Though I do think Georgia is going to do what they did to Ohio State last year and win. So Georgia's going to the finals for me.
I have Georgia taking down FSU in comfortable fashion and Ohio State doing the same to USC. Caleb Williams is going to have a folding game, and it's going to make people look badly at him, but it's not going to make a difference in the end. And Georgia will win the college football championship again. I'll go first.
Okay. So I have Georgia beating Ohio State. I got them making it to the finals. How could you not have the Bulldogs
Yeah.
make it to the finals? I have Michigan and USC is going to be a bloodbath of a game. Okay, but what I think is going to separate the Michigan Wolverines from the USC Trojans is the defense. Michigan's defense is far ahead of USC's defense, and I think that's going to be the reason Michigan will win that game. And then why don't you tell us why you have Georgia winning it first, and then I'll share who I got winning
So
it.
Georgia are just a wagon. They don't lose games, and they have college football playoff experience that Ohio State, even though they were in it last year, they don't have finals experience. I have Georgia winning the game relatively comfortably again.
Okay, you ready for who I got?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Gotta go with the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue.
All right.
Got them beating Georgia in the finals. They're gonna get revenge for 2021, and they're gonna get their first natty since 1997.
All right. So now we're at the Immaculate Grid portion of the video. Your guys' favorite part, I already know. So
Okay.
they didn't make it easy for us. Let's just start with that.
I got a bag pull for the first one. Okay.
All right.
Detroit, San Fran. Give me Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson. All right. 10%. I like that.
I'll take that. Okay.
All right. So
Giants, Dodgers. Oh, well, Giants.
Giants, Texas is more concerning to me. I don't know how.
Giants, Texas. Oh, yeah, they really gave us a hard one this week. Dodgers, Cleveland. Well, we could go Dodgers, Cleveland. We could go Trevor Bauer, right?
Yeah. Did Trevor Bauer ever play a game for LA?
I think he played one, right? Or do you want to wait off just in case?
I'll do it.
I think he did, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Tiger or LA.
Cleveland, Detroit has to have some sort of mix up.
Yeah. Did Austin Hedges play for Detroit?
Austin Hedges?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Do you want me to go through with it? Because I don't know.
No.
Nope.
Let's think about it. Dodgers, Giants. Did Jock Peterson play for the Giants? I mean, for the Dodgers.
Yeah, definitely.
Did he? I'm not sure though.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah.
Okay. Dodgers, Cardinals. That should be like a pitcher or something.
Dodgers, Cardinals. I'm thinking.
Did Matt Carpenter play for the Dodgers, Rangers, or?
Don't think so. Maybe the Rangers. I don't think so.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Texas. I'm not sure. This is difficult.
Detroit, St. Louis has to be the weirdest pairing I've seen.
I feel like they made a trade. Did Adrian Beltre play for the Giants at one point?
I don't think so.
Or did Prince Fielder?
No.
Did Pablo Sandoval? No, he didn't play for that.
No. Did Brandon Belt play for Texas?
Didn't Corey Kluber? Didn't he play for Texas at one point?
Yeah, I think so. Are you sure? Because I'm not positive.
I'm not positive.
All right, then I wouldn't go with it because we're doing well right now. I don't want to screw it up. All right. Cleveland, Detroit.
This is a difficult grid.
Andrew Miller?
Sure. You could try it. I don't know how.
Just seems like. Yeah.
Wow. What a get. Okay. Cardinals and the Dodgers. Oh, we could have gone Yasiel Puig for Guardians, Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Texas and the Giants. Did Zach Greinke play for the Rangers?
I think so. Actually, yeah.
I'm not. No, that'd be San Fran. That'd be San Fran. Rangers.
Oh.
Wait, I don't even know if he played for San Fran now. Wait. Never mind. I don't think he did. Now I'm stumbling myself. Wrong line. This is a difficult grid, to be
Did
honest.
John Jay ever play for Texas?
Try it, because I don't know. You could try
Nah.
it though.
All right. I don't want to mess up though.
Forget, no.
Nah. I'm trying to think of the St. Louis LA connection because there has to be one.
I feel like we're just missing someone obvious, to be honest.
And San Fran, Texas, I feel like that's got to be a real thing.
San Fran, Cleveland, Texas. Did Odor play for the Guardians?
I don't think so.
Um, should we just try Corey Kluber there? I feel like
Right
he's
here
played like yeah, should we just try it? And
with Texas, sure.
if it's wrong, then I'll take the blame.
All right. Oh yeah,
Let's go. Okay. Texas Cardinals.
Texas.
Did Odor play for Texas? I mean the Cardinals.
I don't.
I know he played for Texas.
Yeah, he definitely
Sorry,
played for
man.
Texas,
I
but
think it's East. Trying to think of like journeymen.
Texas, St. Louis, I feel like I could find something for. Like,
Yeah, the Dodgers St. Louis seems like it's so easy, but we're struggling so hard. I don't know why. Mm, Dodgers St. Louis. I feel like there's someone like old, probably.
yeah.
Mm, uh, Texas Cardinals.
Did Andrew Miller? Oh, I can't put him twice. Never mind.
No. Did Edwin Jackson play for the Cardinals?
We've failed every Edwin Jackson attempt. We can't keep playing.
I mean, I know he played for the Tigers, and I know he's played for like almost half the MLB. So
You know what? Who
let's
says
see.
no? Give me that.
It
All right,
worked.
good work, Gans.
Okay,
Now
okay.
we've
Four.
got 3 squares left. This might be our first perfect grid yet.
Don't jinx us. Texas, St. Louis.
Texas, St.
Why do I
Louis.
feel like Odor played for St. Louis?
Rougned Odor. I don't think so because I think he went from Texas to the Yankees straight.
And then to the Padres.
Yeah.
Dang. Texas. Texas. Why you gotta do us like this? Um, I don't think Nolan Ryan played for the Giants or Cards. How about Dodgers Cards? This should not be that
Yeah,
hard.
that
It's not
shouldn't be
that hard.
hard.
Probably some like outfielder or something like that.
Yeah, like there should be some link up.
I don't know why. It's just so hard right now. Texas and Cardinals. Gosh. I am stunned, to be honest.
Ooh, for Texas and San Fran, does Hunter Pence work?
Yeah, try it, because if we don't just try stuff, we're gonna be here for like 5 hours, to be honest.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my. Okay. Texas Cards and LA Cards. Oh gosh, Cards. Please don't screw us over, Cardinals.
The card. I mean, Dodgers Cardinals should be easy, right?
It feels like it's so easy. Like I feel like I like can think of something, but I can't. Isn't it like Dodge? I don't know. Paul DeYoung. He never played for the
He
Texas
never.
Cards.
Yeah, no.
Who's their third? No, it's Arenado. Paul Goldschmidt played for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, no. No, I don't see anyone on the current team.
Trying to think of like more journeyman.
Oh wait, does Pujols?
Did he play for the Dodgers?
Yeah,
You sure? I thought he played for the Angels.
I think he played for both.
I don't know. I'm not
No,
sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
no,
I don't know. I
no.
don't remember him playing for the Dodgers.
I feel like he played for both, but I won't do it because I don't want to
And
mess
if you
up.
want to do it, if you want to do
Nah,
it,
we're too close. We can't mess this up now.
did McKinney play for the Cardinals
Ooh,
and the Dodgers? I think his name's like Billy McKinney.
yeah. He used to play for the Jays also.
The Rangers,
I'm
Cardinals.
putting Pujols. I think Pujols
All
played.
right. Let's see. Okay. I should have trusted you.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Last one. Rangers, Cardinals.
I feel like this should be something. Like these
It
teams were
should be
both
something easy.
these
But we're
teams were both
struggling.
prominent in 2013 to 16. So like
Not Adrian Beltre. Trying to think. Jordan Montgomery.
Jordan Montgomery, yes.
They made the trade. Wait, has he played a game though? Is he gonna count him?
Oh
Probably. I trust myself.
yes. Come
Uh,
on.
Immaculate grid.
We've
Woohoo.
done it. All
Oof.
right.
Oh boy. I think we save rookie of the year for last, to be honest.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. So
All right, Brian Balaga. Oh, he's not
how do you spell his name?
Bulaga, I thought.
Let me see. I'm gonna search it up.
Because I know that he played for both, but
Bryan.
uh yeah.
Okay, there we go. Eagles and Chargers. Oh, Eagles Steelers. Michael Vick.
Yeah.
We're just going for the perfect. We're just going for the grid, guys.
Spelled Michael wrong.
Mike Vick. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Eagles Texans.
Kaiser White.
Uh,
Wait, he played for the Chargers, right?
I don't know.
Now I'm scared. I'm not going for it. Randall
Okay.
Cobb.
Yes. Steelers Green Bay.
Steelers Green.
Chargers rookie of the no. I was gonna think.
Was Herbert was rookie of the year, right?
I think it was Burrow. Or him in the
No,
they in the
Burrow
same
got
class.
hurt. Burrow got hurt. It was Herbert.
Are you sure? Who else? Wait,
I-
who else signed a big contract this year? Wait, let's think this out. Who else signed a big contract?
It was
Herbert.
it was,
Was
it
it
was
Jamar Chase? I think it was Jamar Chase who won it though.
Oh, you might be right.
Or wait, was Jamar Chase in the same draft as Joe?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. It was T. Higgins. Yeah, it was Herbert. I'm going Herbert.
Okay, trusting you.
Yeah.
Nice. That's why you're the man. Steelers rookie of the year. I mean, I don't think Big Ben did. Detroit Palomalu? Yeah, I don't know. Steelers Packers.
Did JJ Watt?
Ooh, that's a good shout. But I feel like he kind of got. I think it was a later pick in the draft. Was DeAndre Hopkins?
D Hop was a rookie in 2014. That quarterback class was pretty weak. No, he was 2013. I think he probably did. Because that
Who was his
class.
QB? That's the only thing. It was his QB.
Oh no, he was like not that good in his first year.
All right, Eagles.
I'm going Kaiser White. I'm pretty
All
sure
right, you got
this
that.
works. Yes.
Let's go. Eagles Texans. Did Donovan McNabb play for the
Texans? I don't know. But this one shouldn't be too tough because the Texans traded everyone. So
that is true. It's basically a new team every season. Texans rookie of the year though. That Andre Johnson, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to think who else have they had. It was like Steelers rookie of the year. Okay, the Steelers are like one of the best franchises ever in football. So, you know,
Yeah.
you just got to think about Hall of Famers for the Steelers. Hines Ward, did he win?
Was he drafted before 1999?
Oh, I forgot about 1999. That really does not help. All right, going for the back-to-back Immaculates. Let's see this. Steelers Packers. Why does that feel like there's someone, but
There should be someone.
did Le'Veon Bell win rookie of the year?
Um,
Big Ben didn't, because wasn't he in the Rodgers class?
yeah,
No.
he was in the Eli class.
Yes, I know. Eagles, Texans. I feel like I could like see someone.
I can too. Like,
I don't know. My mind keeps going to Donovan McNabb.
okay, so
I
I know this isn't right, but Kenneth Gainwell seems like he should have been on the Texans at one point in his career.
don't know, but my mind just keeps going to Donovan McNabb for some reason.
I don't
I'm
think
not
that's
sure.
right. I don't think that's right.
I don't know. That's the only thing. So
Was Nick Foles ever a Texan? No, right?
I don't think so. Who else were like not Carson Wentz?
Was
Did Deshaun Watson the rookie of the year? I don't think so.
no, because that was No, because he
Did
got hurt.
Antonio
He got
Brown?
hurt. He got hurt. AB.
Oh, TJ Watt. Didn't he win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Or did he get hurt?
I think he was healthy his first year. Let's see.
Or wait, was he in the one of the classes with the Bosas?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was in the Nick Bosa class. No, he was the year before Nick Bosa.
Okay, so I think TJ Watt probably won
All
it,
right.
right?
If TJ Watt got it, I'm giving it to JJ also in the other one. Let's see. No.
Dang.
All right. Well,
Hey,
now
we can still try JJ. Yeah, you have to please try Donovan McNabb. Actually, I don't know, but Donovan McNabb just keeps popping up into my mind. Double period.
JJ Watt. Nope.
All
All
right,
right.
try Donovan McNabb. Just
Nope.
uh, Steelers, Packers, or Steelers Rookie of the Year.
All right.
It's gonna be hard.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
No, that was poor. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we appreciate everyone watching. We got our first fully immaculate grid, which was very
that's
exciting.
crazy.
Got to
If you
talk.
guys made it this far, make sure you guys subscribe,
Absolutely.
leave a
Yeah.
like, turn the post notifications on so you'll be updated whenever we drop a new video.
Yeah. Got to drop 3 footballs on you, played 2 immaculate grids, and we'll run it back next week. I'm Dylan Shalom here with Ben Gans. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll be back.